We were told that sometimes it is good for you to concede that there are things that are complex, even for you as a leader, and you need to take time to listen to experts and people who have experiences in those fields so that they can guide you. Honorable Speaker, I must admit that ever since I came to this floor of this House, these matters of the formula and the parameters that are being proposed by CRA and the conversations from our colleagues is one of the most difficult conversations to grasp. Speaker, no wonder if you look at Article 215, Sub-Article 4, on what qualifies you to be a member of the Commission on Revenue Allocation, which is the commission that makes these recommendations. It says that to be qualified to be a member of the commission under this section, a person shall have extensive professional experience in financial and economic matters. Honorable Speaker, I remember the very first time the CRA put out a proposal in terms of the revenue sharing formula. I took time to seek out some friends of mine who are commissioners on the CRA. And Honorable Speaker, first of all, the picture that they painted for our country was quite grim for me. That, Honorable Speaker, we rely on data and statistics that are kept in the ministries and departments and agencies, but that data is so corrupt and corrupted and skewed that it is almost totally unreliable. If you start there, Honorable Speaker, and knowing, for instance, that this formula that is being proposed by the committee attaches extreme significance to certain data sets, the first one being population. Now, Honorable Speaker, you and me know that where immediately you raise the question of the census of 2019, there are people who will tell you that that census itself is flawed. In fact, there is already a court decision, Senator Mungatana can correct me if I'm wrong, on the legality of the figures that were put out by government following the census of 2019. So if you attach 45%, Honorable Speaker, weight to that data set, there's already problems. But we are willing to be guided. And the most heartbreaking thing, Honorable Speaker, is that there are professionals who sit in these ministries. There are professionals who sit in our government agencies who will massage numbers for data, for health, for agriculture, for all sorts of things to skew allocation of national resources towards their regions and even their communities. It is something that professional bodies in this country must look into. So, Honorable Speaker, we have a problem with the 2019 census. We have a problem with the poverty index. How are we supposed to navigate this entire process? So for me, what I usually do, Honorable Speaker, if there is problems with the math and the numbers, we must always fall back to what we consider the guiding principles. During the mediation last year, and I've just seen breaking news now that, as expected, the National Assembly has rejected our proposal of 465 billion to the counties, which is throwing us into another mediation, the fourth straight mediation since this Senate began. That when we were in that last mediation, there are certain things that we agreed on. And also, Honorable Speaker, there are certain positions that the political party that I belong to has taken with regards to devolution and which are supposed to be guiding my decisions in this House when it comes to devolution. The first one, Honorable Speaker, we as a party and even as this House have set the standard somewhere that it doesn't matter what formula you adopt, no county must lose when you compare previous year allocations. Secondly, Honorable Speaker, that after the allocation, whatever formula you use, year on year, there must be marginal growth of the devolution basket to cater for obvious things, including year-on-year inflation, including growth in salaries and wages due to implementation of collective bargaining agreements. Speaker, you know I sit on the Public Accounts Committee. Just the other day, the governor for makwiny appeared before us, and we had one of the most illuminating conversations, because you will see, Honorable Speaker, that because of decisions that are made by national government, for instance, they want county governments to do this county aggregation in industrial parks, and you are supposed to match the money that is put by the national government to do that project. He says in makwiny, because of the nature of the topography and how the unique circumstances of a county, they tried to convince national government that they did not need KIPES. They did not need single centers for aggregation of produce because of the diversity of produce in that county. And it would be very expensive for some people or some of the farmers to transport product from one place to the center. Honorable Speaker, he also told us, he gave us a very clear example that if you look at the amount of money increment for Makwiny County in 2023, 2024, 2025 is about 55 million Kenya shillings only. But in that same period, if you look at the responsibilities that have been put, fiscal responsibilities on the county, because of the passage of laws that are here in the National Assembly and the Senate, for instance, on SHA and SHIF, this is a new levy that was introduced. If you look at the housing levy alone has added an additional burden to Makwiny of 55 million. And yet the annual increase in equitable revenue is 52. So it doesn't make any sense, Honorable Speaker. So we have said that year on year, we want to see marginal increase to cater for these things, including review of salaries and wages for the staff. Then, Honorable Speaker, the final principle was that any shortfall in national revenue or shareable revenue should be borne by the national government. So, Honorable Speaker, we have no problem. Whatever formula is adopted, the position that we have taken is that no county should lose. And we are willing to have that conversation with our colleagues. Now, there is some plea that has come from 11 of our colleagues who represent counties they themselves are calling small counties. And we have a few questions for them, Senator Osotsi and your group. Number one, where did you pluck this 6 billion figure from? What is the scientific basis for that figure? Because although these conversations are complex, we cannot say that you owe a responsibility to explain to us where you got 6 billion. Because why not 7? Why not 5? Why not 8? Number two, Honorable Speaker, if the argument is that most of this money goes to recurrent expenditure, we sit in the Public Accounts Committee, and Honorable Speaker, some of those counties, if you hear the stories in those counties, you will see that there is absolutely no justification to add the money. My view has always been that at the advent of devolution, people thought that counties existed to serve their tribes, that this was our county. It is the reason why if you come from Bungoma and you go and apply for a job in Kakamega, they'll tell you, you go back to your county. Even if you are a Bukusu person, man or woman, born in Kakamega. Many people will not distinguish between a Kisi from Nyamira and one from Kisi County. But they themselves at the local level know this one is from Nyamira and this one is from Kisi. And you cannot apply for jobs there because they'll tell you, your share is there, you go and get yours there. That is the true situation. So you find we had a county entity speaker that comes to the Public Accounts Committee, and a governor has hired over 30 advisors. And that county has only 2 constituencies, Honorable Speaker. There are less than 10 MCAs in that county. But he has hired for himself over 34 advisors. That is what the money for the county is going to. The governor wants to be able to go to every village and say, I employed so-and-so's son, he's working in my county government. I've employed so-and-so's son, he's working in the county government. And all of them, Honorable Speaker, I think with the exception of only Nairobi, they have never even complied with the requirement of ethnic balance in their counties, which is demonstrating my point that people think these counties exist to serve the dominant communities in those regions. The last question I want our colleagues from these counties to answer, Senator Osotsi and group, is that if we are indeed amenable, if we are amenable to meeting your request, so that we avoid those instances, the examples we've given, where every single resource that goes to the county is still going to end up in personnel emoluments and governors adding themselves more advisors, can they agree, Honorable Speaker, that whatever amount is added in terms of what you have called, I don't know which was the term he used, affirmative, that we ring fence that amount of money, whatever it is, for the development that you are claiming is going towards. Because we don't want a situation where you get that affirmative action fund, whatever it is you want to call it, and then it all goes to hiring more people on the ground. So, Honorable Speaker, for us, we were elected to represent our individual counties. The people of Nairobi expect that I will put up a fight for them to be able to get the highest possible allocation that we can get. But Speaker, for me, I am very clear in my mind, even when we were doing the MOU with our counterparts from UDA, that because devolution is something that we hold dear as ODM, we have drawn a certain line in the sand. I am happy that the Senate improved on the proposal from us under that MOU for 450 billion. We have passed as a House 465. Honorable Speaker, I don't know why people get upset when I speak about that MOU. I honestly do not understand, because it is a reminder of the things that we have committed ourselves to. And every single day, we have opportunity to remind each other that this is what we agreed upon. Because we look at things happening in this country. In the morning, I was telling the majority leader how I was very proud to hear him say on national TV that some things that are happening don't make sense, even to him. You know, when it came to the arrest of this young, coder on Twitter for creating a website that we could harness feedback on the finance bill. Honorable Speaker, those things don't make sense to me. Why would you arrest such a person? For what? So even on the question of devolution, we have a responsibility to remind each other that these are the things that we have agreed upon. And when I say I'm keeping score or I have the marking scheme, that is the job of the SG of the party. That is the responsibility I've been given, Honorable Speaker. So for this one, so that we cut down all this noise and we are able to meet everybody's need, let us make sure that we get 450 billion Kenya shillings for devolution. And I want to insist that the national government, 465, but minimum 450 that we agreed in the MOU. Just to remind my brother, the treasurer, the national treasury, the CS, that this is what we agreed to, and we have an expectation from you that you will deliver for the family of devolution. I thank you, Honorable Speaker. I support.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Mungatano.
Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to debate this motion. Mr. Speaker, I really support